Well, guys, it's been long overdue since we've done another Let's Talk episode, but we're back.
And this was something when I saw, I knew we had to talk about like right away. So Clifford the Big Red Dog is being rebooted in
Again.
quotations for the second time. Yes, for the second time is what they should be saying, for the second time. So, what do you mean? And some of you are probably wondering, what do you mean for
Yeah.
the second time?
Because there was already a reboot that was made back in
2019.
2019.
This was 2019. That was what, 7 years at this point? Maybe not even that. So sorry. Um, but basically, this is now the third, well, technically fourth, if you want to count Clifford's Puppy Days, if you want to count that,
Mm-hmm.
fourth TV series adaptation of the classic book series from Scholastic.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first heard about this, I saw this in like an Instagram post with an image from the classic era, and I shared this on my Instagram story, which I will show you guys right here. And I said, is this real? And will it be better than 2019? And I had like little eyes on there, just kind of like hinting. But then I saw the Hollywood Reporter that we're on right now, and I said, so it's real, and I mixed on the redesign. The eyes are too big. I think they went too much on the bean aspect of it. You know what? If you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
is he a bean?
if you can like compare to like the others,
Like the
like
original series, especially. Like his eyes, particularly the pupils, are a lot smaller.
mm-hmm. And when you look at 2019, it
It's
looks
still it
more
looks the
like the
same.
books.
Yeah, and that is one of the things that from my original review of that 2019 series. If you, some of you might have seen that video, and that is absolutely cringe, by the way. The one aspect of it that I will always admire is that they went to the original design of the books,
Mm-hmm.
which I do appreciate. And it looks like they're trying to go that route with this one, which I appreciate, with this new one, which I appreciate. I do like that aspect. They actually did some research. That's one of the things that I will always applaud them for. Some of the other things, maybe not so much. Like, I get why some people were upset about it. Again, I didn't hate it as much as most people, although I acknowledge it is not the greatest reboot ever made. There are
Yeah.
a lot of things
I mean, I
about it.
liked it for what it was.
It was fine for what it was, but like it had its moments. But other than that, it felt stale compared to that original show.
Yeah. And and now when you look at right now, which is surprisingly being released in 2027, which is next year, it kind of looks like they just took like the 2019 design and like upgraded it a bit.
With
Like
the
you could see the
eyes.
white, you could see like white pupils in his
Oh yeah,
eyes,
white pupils, yeah.
and a little more. I could see a little more texture with the fur.
Yeah, more texture. But I think the biggest thing that people are going to notice are the big like black pupils. Is that how it's like? Or am I just,
I think so.
I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, but yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, again, I'm really, really hoping that we have some decent stuff here.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah. I mean.
Hopefully the actual characters look good too. God, I don't know how they're gonna do if the human characters are gonna have giant pupils. Oh God, I'm worried how that's gonna look. But um, I think what I want from this is to try and correct the mistakes that the 2019 version did.
Mm,
Like, you know, Get some of the original characters back. Get Cleo and T-Bone back and Mac. Bring those characters back. They are what made the original show so fun. Because the original Clifford TV show and the 2004 movie to an extent really retained the charm of the books, as well as having just really iconic characters like Cleo, T-Bone, and Mac, for example. Those are great additions to that original show, and that's what people remembered so much.
Mhm. I especially remember it because the both of us we watched the show when we were little.
Yeah, we watched the original show. I think everyone that was born in the 2000s, I think you all remember this show. And if you haven't seen it in a long time, then I think you're gonna get a huge amount of nostalgia. If you want to go watch it again, it's on YouTube. I have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to it, which is so nice to
Mhm.
see of that classic show. It is so iconic. It is so memorable. And this is one of those shows you think of when you think of like old school PBS Kids. This is one of those shows that you think of.
Mhm.
Like it just doesn't feel complete without Clifford in there. And I loved it for that. It was also what I loved most about it is how charming and how calm it was, how cozy, how well and how beautifully animated it was. It was just everything a good children's show should have. Interesting characters, good morals. It doesn't jam the morals down your throat. It just has a nice aura to it, a nice vibe.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that, guys. My cough is really bad today. It's been like this for the past few weeks. I apologize. But yeah, basically that's what I appreciate. So what everyone appreciates so much about that original show is its charm and its characters and its storytelling.
Mhm.
And you know what? I think it's something kids today should be watching, and I think they can because it's on YouTube now. So
Yeah.
props to them for actually allowing that to happen. I think they know kids love people love the old Clifford, and I think Scholastic knows this now. A lot of people are going back to that old show more so than the 2019 version, I think, and I think they might be saying, "Hmm, maybe we didn't do so great with the 2019 version, but maybe we can win our audience back with this version. We can bring back some of the yeah, and you don't need to bring every single one back. Like, sure, maybe some of the original human characters, not all of them, because I think some of them are attached to those dogs, Cleo, T-Bone, and Mac. I think Jetta is the one character who owns Mac. I think
Mhm.
Miss Dillard owns Cleo, and then Sheriff Lewis owns T-Bone. So those I
Mhm.
think are the three human characters that you absolutely should bring back, and also the Blakemans as well, the
Oh
grouchy
yeah.
neighbors. They need to those are like two you have to bring back, and if you don't, like, there's going to be some rioting going on. But yeah, um, those are I think the characters that absolutely have to return, in my opinion. And not all of them will return probably, and that's fine. Like at the very least, if a lot of them return, that's fine with me. We Yeah, I'll just be happy if some of them return. Mostly just the dog characters. They really need to bring back Cleo and T-Bone. And Cleo especially was one of my favorite characters. She is so funny, and the dynamics they all have is just really good. So yeah, definitely bring some of those characters back if you want to win back your audience, and bring back some of the original voice actors. Some
Mhm.
of them are still alive. Like, what's stopping them from not coming back to return? It's happened in reboots before. You had Lily Tomlin reprising her role as Miss Frizzle in The Magic School Bus Rides Again. Granted, she wasn't in it that much, but still, that's an example
Yeah.
of bringing back. And for example, Steve and Joe, they brought them back.
Yeah.
So, like, you can bring original actors back to reprise the roles. Now, granted, these are voice actors who are big in the animation industry and they do a lot of stuff nowadays. So that could be a factor and maybe scheduling conflicts and all that fun stuff. But if they have time on their hands, you can bring them back. Like, it's not that hard. And I'm hoping they go. Now, obviously, John Ritter died a long time ago. It was actually right after the show ended, and
Yeah,
but
and the Clifford
the
movie was like
movie,
his last
yeah,
role.
it was his last film role because it came out right after he died. So rest in peace to that guy. And you truly will never, sorry, you'll truly never be able to recapture that performance. He brought so much energy and so much calming and so much charm to that performance. There's only one John Ritter, and that's John Ritter, and he's the like you cannot replace him. Adam Sanders, the guy who voiced Clifford in the 2019 version, did a really good attempt to, and I think because he studied that performance, and I think he made it his own, and I respect him for that. And I would not mind if he came back because I appreciate what he brought to the table. That's another thing I will acknowledge from that old video that still I still stand by. I think he brought a unique charm to it while still, keeping that original voice intact while bringing his own charm to it. I think that was a really unique idea. I think that's what most reboots should do. If you're going to recast this characters, try and kind of have a mix of that and doing your own thing with it. And I think that he did a good job with that. So, I think most reboots should learn from that example.
Yeah.
So, what do I think of this?
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say no. I'm not going to say no. I'm not gonna say I'm excited for it, but I'm also not saying I dread this either. I want to go in open-minded, and if it sucks, it sucks. That's it. We have the original show to go back to.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, no matter how good this reboot could turn out to be, because it could turn out to be one of the better ones, nothing is ever going to replace that original show. That was a very special show, and I don't think you can really replace any of that. You can't replace that original cast.
No.
You can't replace that original theme song. You cannot replace that original theme song. That is an absolute banger of an intro. It's one of the best theme songs to a children's show. It's so catchy, so memorable. The reboot tried something different, and it was catchy, it was memorable, it was fun, but it just didn't feel the same as that classic theme song that we all know and love. I don't know how this one's gonna do it. Maybe they'll try and recreate it, but also if you try and just recreate it shot for shot, that just feels cheap at the same time. So we'll see how they go through with it, but I don't know. I'm going in open-minded.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna make any. Sorry, I'm not excited, nor am I dreading it. I'm going to go in open-minded. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save my judgment.
Yeah, I mean, I have faith in it, but I'm also like going in with like a bit of caution as well.
Yeah, because we've seen some real stinker reboots in the past few years. We had the Wonder Pets reboot that sucked. The Thomas reboot that sucked. Thomas reboot that sucked. The
The Dora
Barney
reboot that sucked.
The Barney reboot that sucked. The Dora reboot that sucked.
Get Barneyed.
And and what other reboots suck that I forgot? What else? The Bob the Builder reboot that sucked as well. That one sucked.
Well, I mean, it's bad, but it's not like the worst.
I mean, it's bad, but it's not the worst. But it still sucked.
Yeah.
What else was there? There was a
Rugrats. Rugrats sucked.
Rugrats wasn't that good. Yeah, the Rugrats reboot wasn't very good. It wasn't the worst. They got the. I appreciated what they tried to do. I at least give them credit for trying to do something. I just don't think it worked out that well. I really think it should have had the same status quo.
It looked like Coco Melon.
It did look. The animation wasn't that great either. It's not the worst animation I've seen. I've certainly seen worse, but yeah, it wasn't. Rugrats wasn't that good of a reboot. Which I feel like they should. I feel like it should. If they were gonna go the 3D route, I think they could have done a lot better with it. But there was potential, especially when you had the original cast. I'll just say this: the stars were in line for something special, but it just missed the mark. They were aiming for greatness, but it missed the mark. But yeah, and we also have other reboots coming out. The Super Wide reboot that they also mentioned. And by the way, guys, let me just mention quick. Alpha Pig is back.
Yep.
So you don't have to be upset that he's gone. He's back. My goat is back. Nice to see him back.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
worried for a second because I thought they like got rid of him completely. I would have been really upset.
I think everyone would have been upset because Super Y fans are probably no joke. It's been a long time since I've seen Super Y, by the way. I need to go at some point, but yeah, it's just been so
Yeah.
long. But anyways, yeah, the other reboots that are coming out, we got a new Thomas reboot this September, which actually is looking pretty promising.
Yeah.
That one looks promising. I think there is a lot of potential, and they watch fan content. It looks like the producers, so it looks like Mattel learned from their mistakes of all engines poop, um, and are going back to the basics. I'm just happy Thomas looks like a train again, and not some cartoon bullcrap thing.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm not a huge fan of is the eyes. I think they just went too cutesy with it, especially to contrast the real look. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of that. And I'm still not a fan of the fact that they're the body. I'm still not a fan of the body gestures, but hey, I'll take anything at this point, honestly.
Hmm.
But there's also, from what I know, there's a Dinosaur Train reboot and a Sid the Science Kid reboot, unfortunately, that's happening.
Oh.
I don't know why they're rebooting Sid. The show isn't even that popular anymore. It might be. I mean, I know it was popular back then. You know, I've lost some of my hatred towards Sid. At this point, I don't completely despise it, but that does not change the fact that I am still not a fan of it. I'm still not a big fan of it. I don't think it's very good. And I don't think it's completely awful like I used to think. It's certainly better than some of the stuff we've gotten recently.
I mean, yeah.
Again, I know I'm going off topic, but Sid really could have been so much better. And who knows, maybe they'll fix some of the issues. Again, the animation in that show just wasn't very good. I've certainly seen some worse animation, but I don't know. Sid just wasn't that nice to look at. Teetering on the. If you thought Polar Express was Uncanny Valley, then Sid was way more uncanny
I
than
mean, with
that. So
motion capture, I mean,
it's
sometimes,
very
but
it's very hit and miss with me.
yeah. I mean, but
Sid
I did like the
Sid was more,
idea they were doing like with Sid with like digital puppetry. I did
yeah,
like the
digital
idea.
I love the idea of digital puppet. I think it's a great idea. And it was in its infancy. I haven't seen a whole lot of digital puppetry shows, though I know like what was it called? Oh
Hmm.
shoot, Animal Party
Well,
was what it was called. It was on Netflix. I think it
there
was
was
called Animal Party. I think it was Animal Party.
also Splash and Bubbles.
Spot. Yeah, I think that was Splash. Splash and Bubbles actually looked really nice. I didn't love the show itself, but the animation was gorgeous. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it was called Animal Party, I think.
Oh, okay.
That show looked okay. Yeah, at least the animation looked passable. It looks like they are improving with it. And there was a show Francis that came out a little before Sid actually. Some of you might not remember it, but it was kind of this show that kind of got treated as like the black sheep. It kind of got forgotten about because Hit Entertainment was going to be involved, but they decided not to. They only released one DVD ever, and
And that's
the
it.
other DVD that was supposed to come out didn't happen. So a lot of interesting history that I would love to cover at some point because I think it has a very interesting history. I know we're rambling on about weird looking shows, but I just had to mention it. But Francis, in particular, this was the first time they did digital puppetry. And I think it looked very solid. It wasn't amazing. It didn't look amazing. It definitely had its weird moments. It looked weird, admittedly. But I think they're badgers, I think they were. They were animals. And I think it works much better with animals. I think it looked more fluid. Again, the movements don't bother me as much because they're not humans. And I think it worked for that style because I've read some of the Francis stories actually at school. I remember some of them, and from the illustrations look very similar. They did a good job with trying to capture the illustrations. And I think that's where digital puppetry could work.
Hmm.
again, I think it could work well for like action adventure. I would love to see do something like that. There is so much that has so much potential. Like make an action adventure fantasy show and put it on Netflix. I think it could be really, really interesting. Could be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know we kind of went off topic here, but I just wanted to ramble about that. But yeah, overall, I wouldn't say I'm excited for this, but I also am not dreading it. I think I'm gonna just hold. This is what I like to say. I know a lot of people like to judge things based on first looks. Now, admittedly,
Yeah, but
and now admit,
the saying, don't judge a book by its cover.
yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Hold your judgment till it actually comes out. But now, admittedly, this picture I think tells me all I need to know. Admittedly, part of me wants to say this picture has told me all I need to know. Part of me does want to say, yeah, I already know what this is gonna, how this good or bad this is gonna be. Part of me does want to say that, but at the same time, I really think we also just hold our judgments and not rant about it like certain people tend to about certain things before they're even out, and it's just dumb. Like, people, y'all need to stop. This is it's getting out of hand. And it's getting ridiculous, and I think everyone's sick and tired of it. This needs to stop. But yeah, basically overall, I'm not gonna say anything about it until it comes out. I'm gonna hold my judgment. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's about it.
yeah, that's about it. So yeah, we're getting a second Clifford reboot that's coming out next year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But until then, that's gonna be it for this episode. So until then, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Also, wait, question for you all. What is your favorite PBS Kids show? Question for all of you. So yeah, we're gonna leave off with that question. What is your favorite PBS Kids show? I have a lot of favorites, but yeah, that's
Alright, so leave your answers in the comments. Also, your thoughts on this. So, yeah, that's it. Goodbye.